I just realized I was muted. Welcome to our episode number 18 of Share Your Nurse Story by Nurses in Charge. Welcome to you all. Today's episode is one of, I would say, just spectacular. A spectacular episode today, and I say that because we have come a long way since this podcast started 18 weeks ago. And today we are summing up a series on the history, historical nursing, the legacy of nursing, and this entire journey to explore nursing legacy worldwide, starting in Liberia. And for that reason, I want to welcome you all. Say thank you to those who have come along, who have been along with us for 18 weeks. Whether you've joined us on LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube, I say thank you. And our viewers who are brand new to this podcast, I say thank you as well for finding us. Please do comment and let us know how you learned about us. Do a short introduction of yourself, where you're joining from. If you're a nurse, the husband or wife of a nurse, a nursing student, practicing nurse, a retired nurse, and or just a friend and or a cheerleader of nurses. And you will come to find that Nurses in Charge truly has some cheerleaders who are not nurses at all in their rights. They are not nurses, but they are the one who are propelling Nurses in Charge. So we truly appreciate those non-nursing professionals and or friends and supporters out there who have been in the background, in the forefront, all around us, and over the years. Nurses in Charge is a nonprofit organization, 501c3 faith-based nonprofit organization based in the United States, established in the United States, but globally based, I would say, where we are in 19 countries currently. Our members are truly breaking the ceiling. I mean, they are making landmarks wherever they are in these 19 countries. And as the founder of Nurses in Charge, I am more than honored to brag about Nurses in Charge, all of our leaders globally, our regional directors, and our CEO, Casey Pacheco. We have some phenomenal nursing leaders, and some of our global leaders are not even nurses, but they have taken this movement and truly taken it to the next phase, and they are doing marvelous work. So I want to thank you all today. Those who are brand new to Nurses in Charge, feel free to check out our website, nursesinCharge.org, and learn a lot about our organization from the site. And feel free as well to email us. This is our email address that's streaming, info@nursesinCharge.org. Please do send us your correspondence. If you are interested in joining Nurses in Charge, you will find the button on our website to join us. And also, if you are interested in sharing your nurse story, so this podcast covers unique nursing stories from nursing professionals globally. So wherever you find yourself and you are a nursing professional, and this definition of nursing professionals by nurses in charge encompasses nursing students, so our aspiring nurses, and as wide as our retired nurses, and nurse midwives, nurse entrepreneurs, nurse advanced practice nurses in all of their specialties. We say we are all nurses. Certified nursing assistants. They often say, I'm not a nurse. Yes, you are. As long as your title bears the name nurse, you are a nurse, and we embrace you. We salute you. We say thank you for your services over the years. We say thank you for the journey that you have embarked on. Thank you for the legacy that you are leading for future nurses, and the care, quality care that you're providing humanity globally. Thank you. And our organization, we are stewards of the healing ministry of Christ. So for those of you who are Christian, you do know that Jesus Christ raised the dead. He gave sight to the blind. He gave he healed anything and everything, even those who were possessed with evil spirit. We're not capable of doing all of those things today in all of his realm as Christ did, but we have this gift of healing that truly is embedded in us. We know that this is a calling. We're not just embarking on this journey, on this professional journey because it makes more money, there's more opportunities. Yes, all of that comes with nursing, but this is a calling. Even the nurses around the world, in other parts of the world, who are not being paid regularly, they're not being paid fully. They are still showing up to work. And even with the obstacles that we face, between the moments of joy, moments of grief, moments of sorrow that nurses experience, we still show up to work because it is a calling. So I want to thank you all for what you do every day. I want to invite you to join us and tell your nurse story. What is your nurse story? What is that story that sets you apart, that only you can tell from your journey as a nurse? What is that story, right? So feel free to chime in the comments. Let us know. I see someone joining on Facebook. Thank you, whoever that is. Feel free to tell me who you are. If you have any questions, post those questions as well. Okay, so let me just start to stream some affirmations that truly aligns with the nursing profession. I am making a difference in the lives of my patients and my colleagues. You sure are. And I say thank you for that. And please do share the link with even your colleagues. Have them join Nurses in Charge. And I invite you to truly take a tour on our website and see all of the programs we have, and become a member and be a nurse in charge. If you find that there is a program that you've always wanted to establish and launch, and you don't see that being instituted here, please do let us know. Send us an email, info@nursesinCharge.org. All right. Thank you so much. And today, our topic, as I mentioned earlier, we are wrapping up on a series about nursing, the nursing profession, past, present, and future. Everything that was done in the past that has impacted our profession today, everything that's been done today that will impact our profession tomorrow. So we're having a dialogue on this this podcast, having this discussion where we started speaking on Florence Nightingale, how she truly was a trailblazer, bringing on the frontier of nursing, truly being that pioneer nurse. And through her legacy, we can see so much more has come through the pipe for nursing. So now, the present time, we're going back though. We're taking some retrospective view of what nursing look like in other countries. Yes, we hear about the European countries, we hear about Anglo-Saxon, how nursing evolved during the Crimean War, and truly that was the time of Florence Nightingale. But I truly, in the bottom of my heart, I believe that nursing historically still has so much more to tell us from other countries. So with that said, Nurses in Charge is taking a tour, right? Starting in Liberia, we are taking a tour to truly unlock, uncover, reveal, whatever the word means, to take a documentary overview of what nursing looks like in Liberia, specifically where we're starting from. So for the entire month of December, we are taking a tour throughout Liberia. By the grace of God, of course, we are taking this tour, and we are going to start with the education institution, right? The educational institution. And this mission, this entire movement has been embraced, highly embraced by the educational institution, right? The training institutions in Liberia. So for this reason, we are truly... Hello, Joshua. Thank you for joining me. I was just talking about our mission coming up in Liberia. And yeah, so we are starting from the grassroots, from the foundation of nursing, how we all become nurses, a teacher, an instructor, a mentor, a preceptor somewhere put their hope in us through everything they taught us, from nursing school, from clinical settings, and now we are professional nurses. So at that rate, we truly want to embrace the training institutions in Liberia, and give them their flowers, and give them their honor and awards as to how we appreciate, the legacy they've led over the years, how they've educated us. And I was not educated in Liberia, but we have thousands of nurses in Liberia today who are serving humanity. And before they could come into the clinical space to touch those patients, check their blood pressure, everything that we do, pass medications to these patients, and or just that nurse leader who is out there in the office, who is the nurse administrator or the dean of nursing, someone had to educate that nurse. So today's episode, I truly want to thank those educators, those institutions, and those training settings that nurses have, made their path through to be now, as we're fully certified, fully accredited, fully approved to take care of humanity. I want to thank you all. Thank all of our educators out there. Absolutely, Joshua. I cannot wait either. I know this mission is truly going to bring more, bring more light, bring more view on nursing in Liberia. And as I was speaking with stakeholders last week, since it is Sunday, telling them that as we do the tour, we are not only looking internally at these educational um, institutions. We're actually looking also exteriorly as to um, where our instructors come from, and where some of them who have passed on, how, what is their legacy. Maybe even their gravesite, we can visit our gravesite and see where some pioneer nursing educators were buried, their hometown, what people know about these people who have truly given a wealth of knowledge to these nursing professionals who are now taking care of humanity at the bedside, in offices. Some of them are in the media, some of them are um, in politics, some of them are they are the one writing policies and truly research, right? So all of this came by the the investment that these educational institutions have made to us nursing professionals, and far and wide to society in general. So we truly want to see where are these people, where are they, and how we can thank them, and how we can get more information from them about the nursing profession in Liberia. I have someone in Joshua. It says, can't wait to see your it's great opportunity. It is a great opportunity for Liberian nurses. Thank you. And I want you all out there watching this episode to invite nurses who don't know what's coming their way in Liberia. Let them know, get them on board, get them charged up, invite them to join us, invite them to join Nurses in Charge as an organization, invite them to email me and say, hey, I work at such and such institution, but I want to give uh, um, I want to recognize my instructor at such and such university in our training center, and we would definitely, give a shout out um, to those training institutions and or instructors. Okay, so please be encouraged to do that for us. All right. So moving forward, here we go. All right. Yes, every act of kindness I perform has a ripple effect, creating positive change in the world. Listen, every act of kindness, that is an understatement. Nurses, from the time they get to work till they clock out, clock in, clock out, they go above and beyond their call of duty, taking care of the patients who are critical. Their health status is critical, and or taking care of the entire institution on the end of nursing, making sure that staffing is regulated, making sure that nursing licensures are being regulated, and being, nurses are being licensed to do their work, uh, and schools are being approved. So you find nurses in so many sectors of society. And when we truly start to go to these institutions, you start to see that nurses don't just pop out from the vacuum and go to work. It is a process. It takes a process to truly get that nurse at their bedside, in their offices, making, in legislation, passing bills for healthcare and everything, even the legal side of nursing. There are nurses who are working on the end of the legal side of nursing to make sure, or healthcare in general. So we truly want to show you the roadmap and being on site to do that. Welcome, Etsy. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello.
Here you are. I'm so glad that you could join me.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Awesome, awesome. I thought I was gonna sit here and talk all by myself. Sometimes I do. I just like go off, monologue it.
Not today. You have me.
Okay. Awesome, awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I did not announce my co-host, my guest. I want to consider you my co-host today. I did not announce you because I wanted you to come out here and introduce yourself. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Essie Koknor.
Coconut. You're very good. Yeah.
Thank you. Essie, you will find that I'm not paying back on you, but my name is one of those names that get butchered. It gets stabbed. It gets pinched. You name it. So I feel bad that I just did that to you. But please find
My
it your
whole life.
Coconor. I like that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Essie. Perfect. Could you please take a moment to introduce yourself to our audience? I see people joining us from, we got Facebook and YouTube. We got 3 on YouTube and Facebook. Perfect.
Well, so my name's Esty. I have been a nurse for about 25 years now.
Woohoo!
Yeah, long time. Long time. Seen a lot of things come, a lot of things go. Scratching my head a whole lot, but so I started out first as an LVN back whenever we did in the glory days when we did team nursing and you had an RN and an LVN and a nurse's aide and you just took on an entire caseload and did the whole divide and conquer. And I loved it because the RN was stuck doing all the charting and I got to be bedside with my people, which was my jam. And slowly, as things changed, companies wanted to make more money, so that it kind of gravitated away from the team nursing approach. And I found myself doing all the same work anyway. So I went back to school, did the LVN to RN, transition, got my RN.
Good for
been
you.
RN. Yeah, I've been an RN for a while. Love it. Love taking care of people. I've done everything from med-surg, which ironically a lot of people hate. I actually kind of loved it because
I love med-surg. I love med-surg.
Yeah, you really have to be on your toes and be willing to take care of the people and their families and like everything in between. I've done a lot of emergency room. I was sedation nurse for cath lab. I love that. That was so much fun.
Goodness, I did that too, part-time.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Then I, was house supervisor for a lot of years. Currently, I'm doing pre-op PACU. I've done a lot of PACU, done a lot of ortho, done a lot of post-surgery. I did home health. I've done hospice. I've kind of dipped my toes everywhere.
Wow.
I actually got my certified legal nurse consulting licensure. I didn't love it, so stepped away from that. And now I do aesthetics. I have my own business.
Oh my goodness, that is phenomenal. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. That's, the great thing about nursing is it just really allows you to follow your dreams. 100%. It just allows you to follow your dreams. I've done missions. I volunteer as camp nurse every year for our church, and it's me versus about 380 people.
So, oh my goodness, you are brave. The only nurse for the entire camp?
Yes. So from heat exhaustions to knee scrapes to stopping kids in the in the little coffee shop trying to buy 6, bangs at one time. Everything. Everything. My
Wow.
husband goes with me. He does security. So I've gotten it's opened a lot of doors for me to meet a whole lot of people and do a whole lot of different things, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yes. As you
So
see there, I just put on there. I just put on the affirmation. I am proud of the work I do, and I deserve to celebrate my successes, both big and small. Listen,
yeah.
for the fact that you have ruminated all these arenas, all these specialties of nursing, as you were explaining and just listening, I said, "Oh, I don't feel so bad because I too have been like a busybody, True, I'm a
Yeah.
nursing and I'm like, oh no, I'm feeling bored over here. I'm not growing over here. It's becoming, I'm becoming suffocated. So let me just move somewhere else. And it's like a new horizon. You learn something brand.
100%.
Yes, yes, yes. Would you recommend that our future nurses do the same, move around?
Yes, 100%. Like if you start somewhere and you really, it doesn't ignite your soul on fire and you find yourself just going through the motions, find something else. There's so
Yeah,
many different avenues in
yeah.
nursing, and I haven't loved them all. I don't love the ER. I always seem to get stuck there because I've been around since,
Uh-huh.
the dawn of time, I feel like. Um, and it's not that it's an awful department, it's just not the thing that I love. And I tell
Mhm.
new nurses all the time that I love getting new nurses underneath me to train, because I'm like, okay, lace up your boots, sister, because we're going
Yeah,
in. Like, I
yeah.
love learning and I love teaching. And so, I'm a big advocate of, if you don't like this, try something else. Like,
Try
you're never
something
going to
else.
go wrong,
Try
with
something else.
nursing.
Yes,
You're not. If you love people, that's the foundation. But
yes.
if you don't love people, find something else. But
Try
if
some.
you love people,
Yeah,
you can find something in nursing that you will love.
absolutely. Even if you don't love people, maybe you made a mistake and came into nursing to serve
Yeah.
people and found that, oh, you're not a people's person. You can go into what do you call it? You can do something that's not in close proximity with human
Yeah.
interaction. You can work away. You can work, somewhere. Nursing always have a room
Right.
for
If
anyone
you
who
can't,
truly.
yeah, if you can't hold a hand, nursing is not for you.
No, the bedside nursing is not for you. It's sad to say that there's still room for you somewhere.
Hmm.
I say it's sad because nursing is a human profession. You
Yes.
know, the science, the art, the every aspect, every facet of nursing has to do with showing compassion. Um,
Mhm.
Loving that person, that patient who is so difficult. Even coming to the point where the family who did not want you to touch their family because you're black or you're female or you're whatever, they turn out to say, "Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Without you, my mom or my dad or my husband."
Yeah.
So it has so much to do with humans. So it's sad to see that
Yeah.
some people have that problem, but it all comes with assessing the journey prior to jumping into it, right?
Mhm.
Um,
And you said something really interesting too, that I really feel like a lot of new nurses don't get the benefit because, right, nursing school is changing. I mean,
mhm.
even from when I did LVN to RN, so much changed. And it's that hands on, it's a science and it's an art. And, a lot of the bigger hospitals, the bigger facilities
Mhm.
that are just, they're driven like numbers, got to get them in, get them out. Like, it's not lent this newer generation of nurses to get their hands on, because I don't know if you're like me, but whenever I first became a nurse, our head to toe assessment, like we were really palpating an abdomen. Like I could find your organs and knew the parameters that they should be. Like nobody does that anymore. Like general, everything's straight, lab work and imaging. And it's like the human, the touch and my assessment and what I've been trained, there's a reason it's art and a science, right? We're kind of moving away from that, and that makes me sad. So
yes. To come back to your point there, let me just acknowledge Ketsia. Ketsia says, agree on discovering where you feel you be your best and give your best. It is true.
100%.
100% give your best, because at the end of the day, that is what gives you that peace of mind when you're laying in bed. You're like, okay, everything did not go the way I wanted it to go today with my patients or with my staff, with the board of the hospital, because yes, there are nurse executives out there who are like, walking those long halls and trying to go to board meetings and truly try fighting on behalf of the staff, the hospital patients, research, evidence-based practice, you name it. Everyone into nursing doing their best, but find where you truly, when you get there, it's like a shoe that fits so well, and you can have that swagger, and you're walking in those shoes like, these are my shoes. They really made it for me. So find that area of nursing and just enjoy it for the time being. And like Essie and I, for me, 2 to 3 years, when I find that, okay, I thought I loved ortho, but listen, maybe I just go do trauma. And I go to trauma and say, oh my goodness, wow, I'm relearning and applying everything that I did in nursing school, and it makes sense. And I'm so glad that these patients are truly, I'm meeting their needs and giving best practices here, and it's just great to continue that spectrum. Don't get stuck. Don't feel stuck. Don't feel suffocated. I've been there, and I move on. So thank you so much, Kessia, for joining us. She's joining us on LinkedIn. Awesome. And I'm going to go back to Ketsia again, because she says, human profession. You are
100%,
right.
yes.
100% human profession. Let me come back to, let's dive deeper into when you said, and I'm going to keep Ketsia on because she's well, how do I say it? She's on the same path of this topic. So, when we had COVID, where now we were truly geared up, taking care of these patients, can't even breathe behind the mask. Patients don't even know who you look like, right? And you're getting in there and you look like a space, an astronaut or someone. You're in there, and the patient feel like, oh my goodness, they probably did not tell you, but there were some patients who are like, oh, am I that sick? Yes, ma'am, you're really that sick. And to protect you, myself, and protect other patients out there, I have to dress up like this. So then that human touch that we talked about, where you truly want to palpate that patient skin, their turgor, and as you're palpating that, you're feeling what that skin feels like, or what that pulse feels like. Now you're wearing double gloves. We did that during Ebola. We had to wear double gloves. In other places, you had to put the rubber gloves that are almost like so thick. So how do you truly provide that human touchy, that factor, that human factor? How does it play in that role? It was hard, but then that's when your heart took place, where that patient knew that you have their best interest at heart. The way you talk to them, the way you approach their care, you're not touching them because they understand the disease factor, but now the way you approach them, that chemistry, So sometimes the chemistry takes place of the touching. So let's talk about that. Have in your profession all these years, Kirsty, have you not Kirsty, Esty, have you experienced where there's there's a shift where you can truly reach the patient in this way, in this manner, whether it's physically, but now you can reach them emotionally, you can reach them, spiritually. Us being Christians, sometimes we just pray for our patients. How has
Yeah.
that been for you?
Oh man, COVID was tough. I I hope to never have to go through anything like
Never.
that again. Never, never. You know, being in the moment and being with those patients, eye contact, being as close as I could to them, and finding something to have in common with them. Like I would chit chat with them, like, hey, do you have any dogs? Like I have 4, I have a Great Dane,
Yeah.
and that a lot of times will break the ice when they're like, oh my gosh, you have a great, I live on a farm. So, and I would try so hard to find absolutely anything that I could identify with. And, a lot of places they don't want you to talk about your faith, but I'm kind of sneaky with that too, because I think, a lot of people do have faith. They're just not 100% sure
Mm-hmm.
if it's okay to even talk about it. And I would just, I felt like, here I'm gowned up, I got the spacesuit on, I've got double gloves. I sure would walk up and touch their hand anyway. And it's just me and them. And I'm like, hey, I know you got to be scared right now. Can you tell me what you're afraid of? Like, what's going on? How can I make you feel better about what I'm doing for you today? Get on that level. And then you slip in, is it okay if I pray with you? So, that's that they give me a crack and I'm busting through that door, 'cause I will just I will talk about the goodness of God all day long. And it was you have some patients who are very stoic, they're very closed off, but you can find something to identify with people, even if they're fussing and yelling. I always have to remember it's not me, it's the situation. And I
Yes.
Esty out of the equation, and my person, am I like, hey, why are you yelling at me? I'm in here trying to take care of you. And
Right.
if you think about what they're going through in that moment, well, I might be yelling too, maybe they don't have a spiritual, any kind of a spiritual walk, but there's always something there that you can connect with
Yeah, you
somebody.
can.
I've rarely found somebody that was so shut down and it's happened, but it's rare that you
Yeah.
can't find something. Maybe it's a family member. I can remember telling family members, hey, if you come to this window, I'll open the blinds and you can wave.
Yes.
I'll make sure that I'll move the bed as much as I can. I'll make sure that you can see each other, or have like take pictures, draw pictures. I'll bring it in, because a lot of people they were so scared through all that. I would get kind of scared too. I did more codes than I ever
Oh,
hoped to ever
yeah.
have in my whole entire lifetime. And watching people beg you for help, and there's
Yes.
nothing else you can do. That's such a helpless feeling.
Helpless
So,
feeling for both the patient and the providers. It's like, my goodness, where are we going at? But Etsy, on that topic, I just want to give you your flowers here. Here's what Amanda's writing by you. You are one of the very best she's ever met. As we know, Amanda is the nurse's cheerleader, right?
She is.
Oh my goodness. Um, what she says here, she's all in, and she's an award winner for NOTY. What is
Oh,
NOT?
Nurse of the Year.
Nurse of
I
the
got,
Year. Amanda,
yeah.
you're using acronyms. I
Yeah.
know, don't mind me. And really advocates for other nurses. Thank you. And like a supervisor, clinical, okay, supervisor, clinical intake and triage is is big now. So it looks like you and Amanda has truly worked together over the years. So for her to brag about you like this, even though she told me more about you, but I said, wait till I meet this girl. We can't wait to truly behold this person on our uh, podcast and truly gave her her flowers when I meet her. But thank you so much being a nurse cheerleader in your supervisory role, being that leader, because we don't often find leaders that makes you want to go back to work. And nurses, if they're young, happens a lot. Where our leaders that we should be looking up to for support, for recognition of the little or big things that we do. We
Mhm.
don't find that often because they too may be going through issues. We don't know their struggle, but I want to thank you. I want to thank you so much for what you've done, what you continue to do. We truly appreciate leaders like you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I try to treat everybody, the way I wanted to be treated when I was a baby nurse. Everything's a teaching moment, and if it's a lot of things get done because they don't know, you know, and you can't gain someone's respect if you're treating them with disrespect. And I just don't work that way.
You get what you gave.
Yes.
We don't
Yes.
often get everything that we give, but when you give love, love will find you. When you give
Mhm.
respect, respect will find you.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
healthcare is like, man, it's like a rainbow, because where else do you get to meet every color across the board, every background across the board?
It
Like,
sure is.
it's so fascinating to, like, all the different walks of life.
Hmm.
It's just, I'm I'm in awe a lot of times that, the Lord lets me do this.
Yeah.
When I wake up in the morning, and it's such a blessing to get to meet different people and get to learn about different people, and you
Hmm.
know all of our different providers who come from all over, all the different accents, all
Yes.
the different, it's fun. That's I think that's what heaven's going to be like
It,
this year.
I tell you, it sure is a blessing. But if you see it as us being stewards of the healing ministry, because when you're a steward of something, you get to truly harness it. You truly get to baby it and take good care of it. So then you have all these people, and we learned that in nursing school when we're doing theory and all of that. We learn about transcultural nursing. We get all of this knowledge, and then when we hit the real world, we're not expecting to see all the cultures, but we do. I say
You may
25.
get it all in one day.
That's true. You can count if you have 6 patients, you can truly see the divide, not divide in humanity, but divide in cultures that you have there.
Mhm.
This person, what is his age range versus geographically, they've come from different walks of life, and it's
Mhm.
beautiful. It's
Yes.
beautiful because then it opens your mind as a person. You should no longer be so closed up as an individual nurse, as an individual professional. after you've met all of these people, you should learn about their culture, respect their culture, first of all, know your
Yeah.
own culture, respect your culture, right? Isn't that the exchange? And I like
Yeah.
what Ketsia said here. She said human
Yeah.
therapeutic touch, eye contact, and some social connection are energy exchanges. True, because you're meeting all of these people who you've never met. And sometimes they don't even speak your language. You don't speak their language. Now you have to try find a translator, right? Or
Mhm.
maybe they do sign language, and now you have to you have to find a translator. But have you been in that situation where there's no translator, and now you guys are just gonna do the finger waving around and
You
try
know,
to?
one of my favorite nurse stories, I
Mhm.
wasn't even out of the LVN program, and I got to witness my first birth. And we're at a big county hospital in Houston. So, they get a very diverse population. And I'm so excited because I get to be in the room. And then I realize, oh, mom and dad are both deaf.
Oh,
And they were trying to find a translator, trying to find a translator. Well, she finally gets there. Mom's pushing. And then
wow.
the translator realizes, oh, mom's not understanding me. Dad does. So
Oh,
the
yes.
dad, I mean, I was so naive. I didn't realize there were so many different languages within the sign community. And so she was
Mhm.
having to sign to dad, and then dad was having to sign to mom. And it was like chaos for us over on the sides because we're not sure exactly what was going on. And whenever that beautiful baby was born, and mom
Mhm.
was frantic, and dad's, tearing up and everything, and I realized they can't hear the baby cry, that, and I was just, and then I'm crying over on the side. I'm
Wow.
just like, how am I going to do this? And the translators frantically, signing to dad, hey, the
Mhm.
baby's good, the baby's good, the baby's good, mom's good, and he's trying to, having to sign back to the mom, and there's like a good little gap of delay, and the doc is there doing his best to
Mhm.
trying to translate, but dad understood English sign language and Spanish
Mhm.
sign language. Mom only understood Spanish sign language, so we were having to wait for dad to translate to mom. And I was like, oh my gosh, never in a million years would I have ever even put that into a scenario, but it sure happened.
Mhm. So on that note, Etsy, so as you can see, or you as you knew prior to coming on set today, that we were going to talk about nursing storytelling, right? So we have all of these stories embedded into our professional journey, and we bottle them up, and we put them in our fanny packs or even our scrubs pockets, and we never tell anyone in the world. How would the future of nursing look like if we tell nobody about our joyful moments, our sorrows, and challenges we've experienced? Like you just said, you had no uh, um you had no foresight that the baby cry was not going to be heard by the parents till it happened, and it hit you like a ton of bricks. So
Yeah.
now, by you telling that story, how do we impact the future of nursing if we don't tell our stories?
Oh, we can't. Like, you can't. Because that's, okay, well, just think of how, a long time ago, like if you just took the Bible, for instance, it
Mm-hmm.
was stories told from one generation to the next
Mm-hmm.
generation to the next generation. And now we have this fabulous book that we can go read and learn from.
Yeah.
Well, nursing is the same. You can only learn so much from a textbook. It's
Yes.
so good whenever you have nurses who are willing to say, hey, I did that once and this
Yeah.
worked and that didn't work. Or, you know, think about I know maybe protocol says that we do it this way and there are
Yeah.
reasons we have to do it this way, but like over here,
Mm-hmm.
be prepared for this.
Yeah.
We need that. You need that trust to be able to say, "Hey, I've never done this. Have you?" And
Mm-hmm.
be not so proud that you're walking around thinking you know everything and you've done everything,
Everything.
because we've all seen some stuff, like
Yes.
new and old, and it takes a village, sometimes, and you really are doing the future of nursing a disservice, I think, if you do not share your history and the things that you've walked through and the things that you've seen. And you never know what might help somebody one day. It might have been a crazy story for me, but you know somebody else, it may be like, oh, that helped so much,
Yeah, that helps so much to know that I've gone through this and I thought I was alone. Thank you so much, because when you think about our unique stories, we got nurses who have lost the patient during their care, right? And
Mm-hmm.
or a nurse leader who gets a resignation letter unexpectedly. They thought that staff was going to stay till retirement, and they just got a resignation letter, and
Mm-hmm.
it catches them off guard, and maybe they start questioning themselves: is it my leadership, or is it something else that could have been done, right? Vice versa for the nurse at the bedside who took very good care of that patient and was looking forward to that patient getting discharged, right? And the patient passes, like the code, and they abruptly decline. And that nurse started to question his or herself, but as time goes on, that is now history. But that nurse never shares that story for another nurse to heal. I found that when other nurses have shared their stories, I was like, you know what? That happened to me when my first patient passed in a cold. I blamed myself. I walked away feeling, like I had defeated the whole purpose of, being a nurse and all that. But because another nurse shared that story, and I resonated with that, and it helped me to do something better in the future, is part of that growth, that professional growth that truly ties into our emotions, our psyche, our physical, and everything to help you last longer in your profession, and plus to bring morale to the nursing profession, because some people just believe that we go to work and we just pass pills. And
Yeah.
it's so, we just walk around with our hands, we dress up so pretty, and it's not challenging, but we have to share those stories.
Yeah.
We have to share
Yeah.
those
It's
stories.
very hard, because that's exactly, I mean, I've had that happen where you think somebody is doing great and then all of a sudden they're not. And I go home at the end of the day and I'm just, man, what could I have done different? What could I have done better? What did I miss? And a lot of times it's not necessarily because of any one thing,
Mhm.
it's people, it's natural for people, and we forget that, right? We forget that it's natural for people to decline and pass. We're not meant to live forever. And, you really just have to know that you've done everything that you can,
Yes.
but it's also okay for somebody to pass, especially whenever they're on up there in years and maybe you're doing geriatrics, or,
Mhm.
you're in the ER and it's a cardiac situation or an accident or something, and you're not always going to be able to save everybody. And we
Yes.
wear that heavy because we want to. That's why we become nurses, right?
Yes. To
We
save
want to save
lives,
the world.
save
Oh,
lives, and lose none
I'm
of it.
from Texas. I was just reading
Right.
her question there, and I
Yeah.
was let her know I'm from Texas, Southeast Texas.
Thank you. Yeah, Ketsia says, where we from? I'm in Orlando, Florida. And of course, Etsy is in Texas. But a little bit about Nurses in Charge. We were founded in Florida, but we are global. We're currently in 19 countries and we're growing like wildfire.
Wow.
So 3 years and we are in 19 countries. So by the grace of God, we got more to conquer. So if you're a nurse out there and you would like a chapter, you would like to organize Nurses in Charge in your region, join us. Visit our website and place your membership. Registration is nursesinCharge.org, and come in and get to know the ropes, and you can uh, over time, shorter than longer, sooner or later you can actually get started with you can get your own established nurses in charge in your region, because we truly want for all nurses to join us, where we connect nurses, uh, we network, we celebrate nurses' wins as we're speaking on today, giving accolade to our nursing professionals out there who are doing phenomenal jobs. And we do professional development globally. So we need educators, we need mentors, we need policy makers, policy writers, all of, we even have nurse members who are not nurses, and they are truly cheering us up. One of those is in the background today, and that's Amanda. She's always on set anyway. she's If she's not, her face is not out here, she's in the background cheering us up and
She's
commenting. She is awesome. She's amazing. And by way of knowing that too, she brought Etsy, recommended Etsy, and said go on there and have conversation with Dr. Nyepu, and share your story. So we, as we were saying, sharing our stories, nurses in charge. This is the title of the podcast: Share Your Nurse Story. And because we truly believe there are rich stories out there, stories that should be told, stories that should be shared, conversations like this. Sometimes we plan on one topic, we get here, and the conversation just go fluid. It's like, hello, we're just this like our break room, and we're just having a conversation. So no pressure. Um, yeah. So I see Ben Yu. Ben Yu was on one of our episodes past, and he is in Cameroon, and he is in the
Thank you,
background.
thank you, thank you,
Ben,
thank you very much.
welcome. I have Etsy here. Say hi to her.
Okay, hi,
hello.
see, hi, I really see the good work you people are doing for us, and we are at the background. If there's anything we can keep in, so at least, even though here in Cameroon there's a lot of network issues, but when we have network, we always connect with other nurses or people like you, and we try to see
Mhm.
where we can come in to set up anything as concern nurses issues. So I really thank you people for the good work you are doing, and like you said, promising to see you one day in Cameroon after maybe Liberia. Thank you.
Ben, I would love to know exactly what you're saying, but your voice is a little muffled. Is it just me or Etsy?
No, I couldn't understand him.
Is it your connection, maybe?
It was very, very muffled.
First, I greet
Oh,
FC.
Yes,
that's the
he
talking.
is.
The
That's the
time,
talking.
the
Okay.
time there should be something around 2 p.m. Here in
Okay. Now
Cameroon,
we
we
can
have
hear you.
8 p.m. So it's really much. Or I do appreciate the good work you people are doing, and I say that we continue as NIC, which means nurse in charge, to see how we can better up the life of nurses in the whole world. And like I said, the journey to Liberia is already at hand. But I
Mm-hmm.
wish that one day the one of Cameroon after Liberia, maybe Cameroon should be next on the line, so that at least we can also see face to face, we discuss and we chat more about nurses. So anytime when I have network and when we
Mm-hmm.
are going on StreamYard or we have monthly meeting, I will always make sure that I attend the meeting because it
Thank
helps a
you.
lot. It is here that we have information to know the level at which we are, and also to know the level of mobilization that you can do at the level of the local
Yes.
nurses, and then those aspiring to be nurses and student nurses. Thank
Yes.
you people very much for giving me the floor, maybe to greet and to say one or two things.
All right. Thank you so much, Ben Yu. He's calling us from Cameroon, and he was on one of our set. I believe that was episode 4, and it was a learning moment for me. So thank you so much, Ben Yu, for joining us again. Okay. So
Okay.
Esty, I
I don't
see.
know if you said something. I am using earpiece, so sometimes I have to use earpiece to get what you are saying. I don't know
Oh,
if
I was
you ask
saying
me a
thank
question.
you. I was just saying thank you so much for your commitment. Thank you for joining us.
Okay.
All right, perfect.
Come again.
So, no, I was saying thank you earlier.
Okay, you are welcome. You are welcome.
Thank
It's really
you.
much. I really do appreciate.
Thank you. As we wrap up, I wanted to post one question for all of us, both you and I, Esty, and for our viewers out there. So, introducing NICTOUR before the question can be posted. So, NICTOUR is Nurses in Charge taking a global tour, and we're starting in Liberia. And the reason why we're doing this tour is to make a documentary of nursing profession in Liberia, the legacy that nurses have led in Liberia, to truly give that global view and to truly appreciate our nurses there for the journey forward over these years. We have no clue what nursing looks like in Liberia, what nursing education entails in Liberia till we go truly and uncover these stories. So, with that said, the journey starts in December, from the 1st of December to the 30th. So, with this, what lessons can we learn from the grassroots initiative? This is just one nurse leaving the United States and saying, I want to know more about nursing in Liberia. I want to explore the nursing legacy, the historical imprint of the nursing profession in Liberia. So, what is one lesson, if you would say, we can learn from this journey that will truly, be able to support nurses globally, advocate for nursing, anything you see in such a journey?
Hmm. You know, I would think that just learning, number one, what their community's needs are, you
Hmm.
know, where what kind of challenges are they facing, because you know no matter what region you go into, like, there's a different challenge, that doesn't look the same across the globe. So it would be really neat, I think, to see what unique challenges those nurses are facing, and have it to be able to compare it to nurses in other areas. Have we experienced those same things, and how did we overcome that? So
Mhm.
is there something that we could do to help nurses in another region? Whether it's maybe a training that we've done, or is it a supply issue or a technique kind of thing, where it would be neat to see, what nurses need around the world, and to be able to say, hey, maybe I haven't been through that, but let me help. Let
Mhm.
me jump in there and help and learn. And, not knowing anything about the area, really, I think that's really cool, to be able to learn about the people in the area. What is it that they're facing, and give them a platform to say, hey, this is what we're seeing, this is what we're facing, and, this is how we're doing it, and help, what do you see? What do being able to just put another perspective on things, I think is unique. And I like that you guys are doing this. I'm just learning all about you guys. So I'm super interested to see where it goes from here.
Absolutely. Thank you. This is a mission that, when you've thought of something and just your imagination, what would it look like if I tour the world like Anthony Bourdain did, right? Anthony Bourdain took the world up a storm, tasting different ethnic foods. Everybody will be glued to the TV for his next episode.
Yes.
Yes, we all eat food, but we have nurses that I always say nurses touch your life when you were born and when you die, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
what would it look like if we took a global tour and truly just learn about nurses?
Yeah.
Nurses all over the world, and truly bring out what nobody ever knew about the differences between nurses around the world, the similarities, challenges, joy, happiness, whatever. So this has truly been my curiosity. That few months ago, I was just sitting listening. 3 a.m. is a divine time, and the Lord said, "Go to Liberia,
Oh, wow.
make tour." So, hey, one thing to another, the trip is, in days to come. So, and I'm excited, but I'm a little bit anxious as to what could be. But we have instructors from the various educational institutions in Liberia who have embraced this journey. We have nursing healthcare organizations, healthcare facilities where treatment are being given by nurses. So they're all on board, like, hey, let's talk. Come along. So we'll be vlogging it. We will be recording for the main film
good deal.
part of it. And the big thing is that at the end of it, we are launching Nurses in Charge Liberia, because we have officially been registered and approved as an organization, as a nonprofit organization in Liberia. So we will do the official launching of the organization in December. And this is all like, man, goodness. I thought this was just going to be, I just walk around and ask few questions, but no, this is getting so much involved. And I see Ketsia says, God bless me to take part in Liberia medical mission last year. Oh, you took a medical mission last year, and she's going back to serve, support their education and pay. Woo!
That's awesome.
Thank you for joining us today, because definitely, please keep find our you can email me info@nursesinCharge.org so we can connect. We need people like you.
Mm-hmm.
There are more of us out there who truly want to network, who want to celebrate each other, who truly want to charge each other on for the journey ahead. As we know, nursing is not easy, but we, as a teamwork in nursing makes the dream work. So,
That's one of my favorite phrases. Teamwork makes the dream work.
And I want to bring on Nukana. Nukana is a journalist, and he is on board of NICTOUR. So he is truly doing the groundwork, getting our hotels, getting our transportation, showing us the regions, how to navigate the regions. So we'll be doing a Google Map. Google Map will be active to truly show the areas that I'm going through. So you can see on the map. And Amanda, who is in the background here, Amanda is the guru for that. She's actually our chief innovation officer for nurses in charge. So what I don't know about technology, what I don't know about any of this new age stuff, I just throw it to Amanda. So she will definitely make sure that our viewers can track us, share our videos, make it go viral, let the world see that nurses are phenomenal. They they save lives from the time you're born to the time you die. In between, nurses are there. And I always pose the question, have you been touched by a nurse? And if you say no, you're a liar. You were touched by a nurse, whether it was a nurse midwife that delivered your mom, or a nurse at the ER, a nurse in the hospital by your family bedside. Every day of your life, you're being touched by a nurse directly or indirectly. So this journey, nurses are supporting nurses. They're sending supplies, they're sending gifts to other nurses. And this is like mind blowing how God has truly orchestrated this entire mission.
That's amazing.
It is.
I can't wait to see. I bet you just blow up. It's going to get bigger than you thought, I bet.
It will get bigger. Anything that God is foreheading and He's the foundation of, I tell anyone, and that's what truly makes my journey better because I know that Nurses in Charge is a faith-based organization. No fear. I know God is with it. So anything we establish, He is going through it with us. So,
Amen.
Yeah, yeah.
I've gone. I've been on 3, I believe it was 3 medical mission trips that I went on with a church I was a part of, and we went way, way, way down into Mexico. And you always worry about not knowing the language and everything, but like what you said, and some of the things that we saw, like absolutely just took my breath away, and and not in a good way. And when you're there as a nurse, people flock to you and they find out that you have any kind of medical knowledge, right?
It was like a magnetic force.
Right. And, before you know it, you have itty bitties before you, pregnant ladies, the elderly, but God never fails. He never fails to open up a door to help you communicate, to figure out what that need is, so that your skill and your compassion can best be used. And I've seen it happen time, and I have seen miraculous healings happen because we may be nurses, but we serve the great physician, right? And He goes before us, and He always intervenes. And if it's not good, it's not finished, right? So props to you, sister, for going into all the world like this, because if this is not the hands and feet of Jesus, then I don't know what is. And it's so needed, in this day and time, to just love on His people. And that's why this is getting big, because I can see it on you.
Yes. When He says to go, and you say, but I don't have food, He said, just go. Oh, my bills are not paid in full, He says, go. I'm leaving my family, He says, go. And He continues to nudge on you. You can't sleep at night, but think about more good ideas. And then He brings people like Amanda and Crystal and all of our executives, and they're like putting things into place. You have no excuse but to buy your plane fare. And even with the plane fare, I said, Lord, I can't pay a certain amount. Make sure it's under a certain amount. He made it happen. I'm like, oh, this is really becoming. I can't,
we serve a good God who's very big.
Several supplies that I needed because you're going to be live all through the days. So you need this. I'm like, I need it before such and such date. They there was one of my supplies that was in Japan that came in a matter of 48 hours. I was like,
Oh,
and it
that's
was due to
cool.
come in 5 days. It came in 48 hours. I said, oh, I'm not gonna be a Jonah. I'm not gonna pull a Jonah right now.
Yeah,
I'm
that's a
gonna
miracle.
I said no, everything is just so everything working just so divinely
Mm-hmm.
ordered that I know, hey, it has to be God's will. So yes, absolutely. Amanda said rural and village hands on nursing. I would say play a huge, yeah, inspiring part in why nurses become nurses, community needs, and how other areas can support them and learn from them at the same time. Absolutely. When you have nurses who say, listen, I've invented something or I have a program that I truly have wanted for someone to listen to me, and I'm glad you can tell the world about me. You can tell the world about our little clinic here. Nurses have their own clinics in parts of Liberia. How did you
Mm-hmm.
start this clinic? How is it going? How many lives are you saving here? Because people have to walk for miles to. I'm just giving you, just cover up, areas that will be covering where people have to walk for miles to go to a major hospital, but they are nurses who have their mini clinics. How did they do it? So this is the journey. Thank you so much for coming on board and believing in us. And I pray that God will use you instrumentally for this mission. But yeah, it's nurses own, nurses moves, nurses organized and everything. We're in charge. Yeah.
Yeah. I will keep you in my prayers as well. This is a pretty awesome thing that you're doing, and it's big, and you can't ever have too much prayer, right?
Oh no, please pour it in that bucket. As
Yes.
the prophet said, do you have more jars? Bring them. Let me pour that oil in it. And just keep bringing them. So keep pouring the prayers for us. It's an
Yes.
entire team, and we need God's hands to protect us as we go into regions we've never been into before.
When
When
nurses
nurses,
the
yes,
world
the
changes.
word.
Yeah.
Thank you so
I
much.
mean, we are the heart of healthcare.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Nukana, did you want to say something before we close up? I know you're muted, but you're on audio. Okay, he could be having connection issues. So, ladies and gentlemen, this episode truly was meant to. Nukana, are you there?
Yes, those are
Okay,
really good. Really good. Thank you for this.
your voice is
Sorry,
far or
you
muffled.
getting me? Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for the meeting today. But fortunately for me, I'm still not moving, so I'm not too much.
Please
Thank you
check
today.
your audio. It's muffled.
Wow, it's just your meeting. Next time.
Okay. But thank you. I want to thank you so much for the groundwork that you're doing there. The manpower is awesome. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you so much. Yeah. So as you can see, SP, our next Sunday will be the 1st of December, right? Is it?
I think so.
Yeah. So I will be in Liberia, and we'll see how we can keep the podcast going. We'll some way we'll figure it out. But sometimes the connection, the internet access is not so stable, especially when you go further away into the villages. So, but we will be live on Facebook as much as we can, and to show you all what we're doing there.
All right. Well, I will make sure to follow you guys on Facebook whenever we get off of here. That's where I'm going to next.
Perfect, perfect. Let me if you have any last words for our viewers or anything that you meant to any message you meant to give out today, I just want to make sure that your voice is heard, and if there's anything that you meant to say.
I don't think so. I don't think so. We covered a lot of ground. We really did.
All over the place.
Yeah. I mean, just like I think we really talked about a lot, nursing covers a multitude of things, a multitude of avenues. Don't pigeonhole yourself into one area and spend your entire career miserable. There's so many different things that you can do. If you see a new nurse, grab them and help them, pour into them. My grandpa used to tell me all the time, don't waste your pain, and it's true, because not everything is fun in healthcare. And you come across a lot of things that really hurt your heart. But the positive in that is turning it around and using it to make you better and telling other people, like you said, we have to share with this upcoming generation. And even if you're an older nurse like me, I never quit learning. If you've got a better way or know a better, show me. I want to know too. It might work better for me. And that's the whole thing. You just attitude and ego have no place in nursing. No place at all. If you're not there to help the human condition, then maybe you're in the wrong place. And I think things like this are so needed, and I really think this is a great thing for nurses, and I can't wait to tell more people about it and get them tuned in too. So it's a great thing.
Thank you so much. You couldn't have I couldn't have even wrapped it up better than you did. Thank you so much. I like the fact that you went, grabbed all the pieces that we talked about and bunched them up and gave a great summary. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
I have the gift of gab. Who
You
knew?
do. No doubt. You sure do. Perfect, perfect. All right. I'm going to end the streaming and just have a few words with you in the backstage.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, viewers. Thank you again. Follow us. Share, and promote Nurses in Charge. We are truly we've embarked on a worthy cause, and we need you all to join us and make it happen. All right, perfect. All right, Amanda said thank you.
She's the best.
She's awesome. She's awesome. All right, till next time.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.